All right, team, welcome back to another episode of Ask Top, sponsored by MentorMilitary.com. Today we're going to talk about an important subject that affects a lot of soldiers, and we've got about a 5-part series on Article 15s, but today we're going to talk about how to prepare for your hearing. This is important because most soldiers go in and they're not even prepared. They don't understand the process. And in a lot of cases, if a soldier properly presents evidence, facts, speaks up for themselves, knows what's going on, they can change the outcome of the Article 15. Now, I'm not saying the Article 15 is going to result in no punishment, but it'll probably result in lighter punishment, a better, more positive outcome. But there's also a possibility that, yeah, you could potentially not even get an Article 15 if you conduct yourself right. So let's go ahead and get after it. So what are our references for today? 2710, Manual for Court Martial. Now let's talk about your conduct. This is important. Was it legal? Was it ethical? Was it moral? Was it safe? Those things are important because if you did one of those, I call those the 4 unforgivable sins of leadership, then you knew what you were doing was wrong, or more likely than not should have known what you were doing was wrong, and you're more likely than not gonna get punished. Be prepared to receive some serious punishment, because odds are what you did was serious in nature. So what else? Was it an honest mistake? Sometimes honest mistakes get punished, but frequently honest mistakes can be a lesson learned, and that's it. Was your conduct inappropriate? How inappropriate was it? Was it something that can be corrected with formal counseling, extra training, revocation of privileges, barter re-enlistment? Is there another way to do this? Even potentially removing this period of service for your good conduct medal. That's another element that could happen. But, is there another way to handle it beside an Article 15? Hey, also down in the description below, we've got an ebook. I think it's $19.95 that'll walk you through the entire Article 15 process. From the soldier side, from the leader side, it'll give you everything that happens within the reading of the Article 15 to the execution of the punishment phase right out of the manual. We take pieces of the manual, but we also put in a lot of lessons learned and experience. So, will I be punished if I'm recommended for an Article 15? Odds are there's going to be some form of punishment, because it's kind of a foredrawn conclusion that you did something wrong, and for something wrong, something's going to happen. It's just to what degree is something's going to happen. Rarely do you walk away without punishment unless there's a serious discrepancy or clear evidence proving your innocence. Prepare for your hearing. This is the best thing you can do. The best thing you can do is be prepared and confident. So, you've been recommended for an Article 15. What should you do? First, take a step back and calm down. Look at the facts and the situation. What's going on? Develop a rationale you will use to speak to the chain of command. What's your reasoning? How are you going to present it? Put your rationale into writing. Write down your plan. Think about it. Show it to someone you trust, a mentor, someone who knows what's going on, not a barracks lawyer. Understand the unintended consequences of receiving an Article 15. It could be that it prevents a promotion. It ends up in a barter re-enlistment, ends up in a separation action, ends up in you not being able to re-enlist. There's a lot of things that could happen as an unintended consequence. So you need to understand those, and your leaders need to understand those as well. Ask to speak to the leader recommending the Article 15. Because you may be surprised that with the proper discussion, maybe the Article 15 doesn't happen. What do I mean by that? Well, first, anything you say to anybody can be used against you, so think through what you're going to say and make sure it's what you mean, because they'll hold it against you. So, approach the leader recommending you for the Article 15 in a humble and professional manner. Present the facts in a calm, professional, and unemotional manner. Explain that you understand your actions were inappropriate or wrong and that you apologize for the mistake. Explain unintended consequences that you could receive. We discussed those a few minutes earlier. Now again, keep in mind, this is only if you want to admit guilt and you want to try and stop the Article 15 before it's put into motion. Anything you say can be used against you during your hearing. So, explain that you realize your behavior and performance was inappropriate, that being recommended for an Article 15 woke you up and you will correct your behavior and performance. Request another approach, such as corrective training, writing an essay, developing, teaching a class regarding the subject matter, revocation of privileges. The goal here is to get the leader to understand you've learned your lesson. Maybe all they want to give you now is a warning. They woke you up and they're not going to recommend it and you're going to correct your behavior. Lesson learned here, don't repeat the behavior. Because usually when you approach a leader and you say, hey, I need your help. Hey, I woke up, I understand. And as long as it's not something really serious, they may let it go. So think about that. Okay, so now you've tried everything. Nope, here comes the Article 15. You're getting one. You've done everything you can to prevent it from moving forward without success. Now you're going to have to prepare to defend yourself. And you need factual statements. What happened, what you learned, why it won't happen again, and even your recommendation concerning punishment, if any, because you may get asked for it. And soldiers can be very creative in punishment. And sometimes the chain of command will look at that and accept that punishment versus the punishment they were going to recommend. Prepare a timeline what happened before, during, and after the incident. This is important because it'll help you develop your rationale. It will help you build your case. So this happened in event number 1 on this time and this date. Event number 2 was at this time, this date. Event number 3 this time, this date. And it allows you to paint a picture of what happened so you can write to it. Okay, so let's talk about mitigation and extenuation. Mitigation is a reduction in either quantity or quality of punishment. For example, punishment of correctional custody for 20 days could be reduced to correctional custody for 10 days or 20 days restriction. Extenuation is presenting circumstances surrounding the offense showing the offense was not very serious, hence the punishment should not be very serious. So those are two elements that you can use during your hearing to help reduce the amount of punishment or the severity of the punishment. What are your rights? You'll be notified of the maximum punishment that can be imposed. You'll be provided a copy of the Article 15 with parts 1 and 2 complete. You have the right to remain silent. Any statement used against you or may be used against you, right to counsel, right to demand trial by court-martial. This is good for everything but a summary Article 15. I think if you turn that down, you go straight to a summary court-martial. So, your rights. Other rights you have is you can fully present your case, call witnesses, request a spokesperson, request an open hearing. What's an open hearing? The commander can just open the door to the office, or he could choose to hold it in front of the company. You can examine all the available evidence, and you can be given a decision period. Again, take a look at the link below. That'll take you to our ebook on Article 15s. Hey, if you get a chance, stop by mentormilitary.com. You know, we have all types of professional development products designed to make your life easier. Counseling, evaluations, writing, promotions, uniform training, leadership. Go to top sellers when you're at mentormilitary.com, and we hope to see you there. There's a description in the link below. So preparing for your hearing. So far, you've attempted to speak with the chain of command to prevent the Article 15, and you prepared a timeline. Now you need to gather witness statements and witnesses that will be present during your hearing. Prepare a written statement for the commander. Ensure it's reviewed by JAG and someone you trust for accuracy, grammar, spelling. Make sure it's factual. Get rid of the emotion. The emotion is going to destroy you. So consider having a person speak for you on your behalf. This is a spokesperson. This is usually someone senior in grade, someone that has experience, understands what's going on, that can at least help you present your case. Find individuals that will speak to your character and performance, because the commander can take all elements into consideration: your past performance, your character, your potential for future service, your behavior, your attitude, your tone. Share matters of mitigation and extenuation with the commander. If they find you guilty, why punishment should be lessened. This could include, like I said, your performance, your behavior, the fact that you've learned your lesson. Provide your witness list to the first sergeant commander ahead of time so that they can ensure they're present. In some cases, they may need to appear via phone or video conference. Consider providing a read-ahead packet to the commander with your statements and witness statements. Consider having them bound at like Staples or Office Depot so that they're professional. Now, there's a downside to doing this too. You know, you tell them who your witnesses are, and maybe your witnesses get cold feet and don't want to show up because they're worried about the chain of command taking retribution. Or you give them the packet ahead of time and they read and understand everything that you're going to try and do, so they develop their counter strategy. The bottom line is you're just going to have to deal in facts, and you're going to have to hope that the chain of command is a disinterested party, because in most cases they don't enjoy punishing you. They are doing their job, and they have to meter out some form of fair and just punishment. And that's the goal. They need to meter fair and just punishment, if appropriate. Bring all your evidence. Show your innocence. Show the commander to consider all facts and mitigations and extenuation. Rehearse your defense until you're confident. Do it in front of a mirror until it's by heart. 2 days before the hearing, make sure your witnesses are available. Ensure your written statements and other paperwork are good to go. Ensure you have a good looking uniform and boots. Your appearance meets Army standards. So the day of the hearing, be professional but confident. Be able to explain your side of the story, matters of mitigation, extenuation. If you are at fault, accept responsibility for your actions. State that you've learned your lesson. Understand the commander is responsible for good order and discipline of the unit. He's got to, or she's got to do something. And you're prepared to accept your punishment in a professional manner. Respectfully request the commander take in all elements during the hearing. Again, we've talked about this: previous performance, performance since the incident, all aspects of your military record, potential for future service, you've learned your lesson, and that it won't happen again. Unintended consequences. Your leaders need to be thinking about this too, but a lot of times they won't. So you might want to bring it up during the hearing. Hey, sir, you know, there could be a lot of unintended consequences to this Article 15. I could be QMP'd. I could not get promoted. I could have a bar to re-enlistment. I might not be able to re-enlist. You know, I'd appreciate it if you think about those things. I could be separated from service because, you know, what is your intent? You know, is it just to correct the behavior, or is it that one of these unintended consequences might happen to me? If one of those unintended consequences might happen, can we look at disposing of this another way, because I've learned my lesson and you're not going to have a problem with me again? Okay, so let's say punishment is administered. Carry yourself in a professional manner. Don't go around bad-mouthing the chain of command, telling them you showed the chain of command, you know, you told them off and that's why you lost your rank, or that's why this happened. Be professional. Complete your punishment in a professional manner. If the command team shows you compassion and empathy, ensure you realize this, because they could have hammered you. Most command teams just want you to learn from substandard performance or behavior. All right, so what did we talk about today? Talk to the chain of command. See if they'll handle it with counseling or corrective training. Prepare for your hearing. That timeline is incredibly important. It will help you paint the picture in words as to what happened, how it happened, where it happened, when it happened, why it happened, what you learned from it. Write your statement. Ensure you have witnesses that are available and that those witnesses know what they're going to testify to. Be able to present matters of mitigation and extenuation. If you're punished, be professional. Hey, if you get a chance, reach out and follow us on Facebook at ASTOP and Mentor Military. Look at our YouTube channel. Hey, share it, subscribe to it, leave us a comment. Tell us what you want to see in the future. And don't forget to visit us at mentormilitary.com. Until next time, stay safe and stay healthy.